I'm here.
She's here. All right, guys. It's going to be a different kind of show this morning. Now, we are going to try to be motivational and everything like that, you know. And for the first hour of the show, you know what? I'll just tell you about it when we go live. We'll see you in the studio in a bit. Okay. I don't know what you're doing over there, Mr. 45-1 Actual, all over this, saying turn the music down, nerd, and everything like that. I am trying to produce over here. Everyone, pray for 45-1 Actual as he is on a road trip right now, as far as I know. He's supposed to be on a road trip. Sir, are you out there on a road trip, or could you be in the office right now? I have questions. We all have questions. Happy Monday, everyone. Welcome to the No Prisoners Podcast. Well, isn't that just fantastic? Good morning, Sandra.
Good
Miss
morning.
Sandra.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay.
I'm sorry, I was
Okay.
muted.
No. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Sandra, I forgot to start us off like a real small, in our little small balls. Now, everyone, look at your screen. Now we're gonna do a little teabag action here. You want those? You want those big balls?
Big
You want those
balls.
big balls?
Okay. And that is how we're starting. Happy Monday.
That's how we're just yes. Happy Monday, everyone, with some big old balls in your face, right there. Okay.
Why aren't you making
Good
your
morning.
ball big? Like you
My
just
ball.
put mine. You made mine all big, but let's see yours.
Here, I'm gonna twist these balls here. How about that? Twist these balls.
Oh, here's your one
Oh my
chance. Don't let me down. Uh-oh.
What? I missed that. I'm sorry. I was having a seizure. What did you say?
No Prisoners podcast. Here's your one chance, Fancy. Don't let me down.
Oh, yes. Oh, you know what I forgot to put on? Here, hold on. Look at me. Ah, yes.
Oh, nice.
What do you think about that, Sandra?
I like it.
All right. Well, let's get into the audience and let's see who's here. All right, one moment, please, as I switch over to this other monitor.
Love it. Happy
All right,
day,
good morning.
everybody.
Yes, I hope everyone had a great weekend. Gray Man, good morning. Let's see, who else do we have? Mr. Tizio, good morning. G-Man, how you doing? Callie Girl, hey.
T.N. Homesteader. Mwah,
Where's
mwah,
T.N. Homesteader?
Mwah,
Where's
mwah,
T.N.
mwah.
Hold on. Where's T.N. Homesteader?
I know I just saw him. I know I'm not.
Okay, hold on. Okay, Nuclear Family of 4, good morning, NPP fam. Yes, good morning. Let's see. Okay, let's see. And then, of course, we've got 45-1 Actual over there at the airport right now, being all crazy and directing from the, I don't know, probably from the lounge or something like that. It's like, I hope you've had a nice breakfast. Dark Maga CPA, first day of tax season. Let's go. Absolutely. Been talking to my accountant about all this, trying to figure out if I can still claim any deductions for the overseas fiasco that's going on. I don't even know why we even have to pay 2024 taxes at this point. Let's see. Kane Chris, do I know you? Good morning. Welcome to the show. Welcome. All right, let's see. Maga Matt, good morning. Lulu in Love, hey. All right, let's see. Boys Blanc coming in with a cookie. Oh, you know what?
So did I just see things?
I don't know. We're about to find out. Boys Blanc, here we go. Come on. That was mildly derpy, but that's okay. That's okay.
Tien's going to drive me crazy. Here at No Prisoners Podcast, why not Sandra? Tien, are you mad at me? Do we have something we needed to discuss? I'm sorry.
You know what?
It's my famous words.
T.N. Homesteader, if you are angry, if you are having an issue with Sandra, you just go and you look at this chat right here. It's like, you want to talk to Sandra? Here, you just follow this link right here and you come right on in here and you talk to Sandra T.N. Homesteader. All right, good morning. Let's see, going back.
Could you imagine if he came in? Come on in,
I would love it.
T.N., join us.
I know it. I know he has the ability to. All right, let's see. H2O Maven, Water Wizard. Water Wizard gifted a can. Good morning, Water Wizard. I'll get to that in just a bit. Old Salty Dog, good morning. Stephanie Sprague, good morning. And look at that, Stephanie Sprague giving love over to T.N. Homesteader. Miss you so much.
Right.
Yes. Oh, look at this. And then we've got the cute cats and dogs coming in from Kane Chris. That's just adorable. All right, let's see. Oh, and then, of course, 45-1 Actual is talking about he had Einstein Bros. I don't know what the hell that is, but it's probably caffeine and sugar. All right, Artist61, good morning. And let's see, who else do we have in here?
Artist61.
I am caught off. What's up?
You see this mug? Artist61, she gifted me this mug. Coffee Talk with Sandra. She's like, now you can actually have a mug that has your thingy when you drink your coffee.
Is that a rainbow mug? Is that all opulescent and everything?
It is. It's gorgeous, isn't it?
It's very pretty. It's very pretty.
She did it herself. Thank you, artist.
Is that an acrylic pour?
I mean, I don't know what that means.
Well, I was just trying to be conversational.
Okay, I will say this. It's a really good mug. It's a good mug. When people give you mugs where it's not the right handle, the handle's too awkward. This is perfect, and I can hold it all the ways I like to hold my mug. It's fantastic. Score.
Well, it looks like a very serviceable mug, and that is wonderful. Over there, we had Water Wizard coming in with a can. Let me see. Do I even have my can over here? Oh, I know I do. Here we go. Yes. Yes, take that, you asshole. Yes. Don't like him. I just don't care for him. I can't figure out why either. Such a sweet old man, Sven K, good morning, Don Ritchie. And let's see. Yes, and I believe I am caught up, Sandra.
Yeah.
The news Everything from Kanye West to the Super Bowl to, and just the constant bitching and bitching and bitching going on from the mainstream media. Do we get into it? You know who just came in the room? Look at this. Do you see who that is? I think somebody wants to talk to you. I think somebody wants to talk to you. Tien Homesteader, good morning. Tien?
It's just my imagination. It's just
Tien?
my imagination.
Okay, well, while Tien Homesteader's over there, I notice that Harley Quinn is over here giving us some love. Good morning, Harley Quinn. Thank you so much for the cookie. One moment, please. And here we go. Yes, come on in. Where is it? There it is.
Burt Cocaine.
Oh, and I see that Burt Cocaine is coming in with another can. That's wonderful because we need to burn this. We need to burn this one badly. Yes. Come on. All right. Yes. Okay. So, you guys want motivation? Well, we're starting off with this. So far, so good, I'd say.
Can we turn the music down just a tad?
Yes. How's that?
Okay, that's good. Because I hear it, but good. Like I just want to dance. And
oh, you want to dance?
Well, I mean, like it makes you want to. You know
what? You know what? You might have that opportunity after we go Pilled exclusive, because when we go Pilled exclusives, if I can talk, okay. It's not like I'm the one with the freaking Invisalign in. It's not like, you know, it's like, give me Sally sells, she sells at the seashore and stuff like that. Not like, you know, well, I'm not. Adel Nero, love you so much and everything, but I know right now you're going through that whole, I don't know why you're trying to close the gap in your teeth. It's a very masculine trait, but you do you. It's like and everything, but I've heard that you've had some like difficulty with your Invisalign, but you know what? You're going to be just fine. Just fine. All right. What was I going to say at the top of the hour when we go over to Pilled exclusive?
That was so random.
What was random? I had a lisp.
Okay. Well, I think Adel should leave as is. I mean, it's character.
It is. It is.
It's unique. I like that.
Yes, yes. Good morning, Salty Motorhead. Okay, so when we go over to Pilled exclusive, I'm going to be taking music requests and such. So if you've got a music video that you want to see, that would be the time to go and like put it in so we can like start putting those in. Sandra, would you help me keep an eye on the chat so we can get those links in for anyone who wants to see like certain kind of music and stuff like that? Thank you so much. So where to begin?
Is your mic up? Not yet. Is this just is Tien doing this just to tease me?
You know what? One doesn't know. One doesn't know. However, I will tell you this. I have a teaser. I do have a teaser. Yes. Like one teasers. Moment as I go over here. You know what? Kinda. I need another monitor. I need another monitor. Okay, right, there we go. His
head came and it came back. Is that a yes? Right. Am I decoding Tien?
I don't know. Tien, if you can hear me, refresh and it might ask you for permissions to use your microphone or what have you. And then you have to give it permission. Okay, so while he's doing that, I'm going to show you guys this. How many of you have heard about foxhole squares? You guys familiar with this? On Coffee Talk with Sandra on Saturday evenings around, 10 p.m. Eastern, you may find yourself at foxhole squares. Let me just pull something up right on over here. Going on over. Let me see. How do I do this? Let's see. That one's that. This one over here. Here we go. Let me play you this highlight reel from this last Saturday night. This is fun. Here we go.
Yeah, no, that is true. Except for this.
One moment. There we go.
I am your host. So, dude. Yeah, no, that is true. Except for the stripper part. Very good.
It's all like, you gotta go Belushi first, but I love it.
I will go with Belushi.
All right. All right. Excellent choice. We're going to show them your cubes. Let's do it.
What is the lightest class in boxing?
The Caucasian class?
Like the lightest class?
Correct. Brass cubes.
The brass cubes. All up here, brass cubes. The lightest class in boxing is indeed called a flyweight. So, and X gets the square there. You are correct. Right way. Secret square. I thought he was the secret square on the second round, but I guess he's the secret square on the first round. So that's okay. This is still worth 250 gold pills.
It's woke. I don't trust it.
Okay, Bert, tell me, my friend, where would you find the girdle of Venus?
Girdle of Venus. You know, probably in Belushi's closet. But I'm gonna say it's a constellation. It's probably a star.
FeistyAce? Where do you keep your girl? No, do you agree or disagree with Bert?
I think I'm going to say disagree.
You disagree? Well, that would be correct, my dear. That would be correct. In fact, the girdle of Venus is one of the lines on your hand that would be read by, say, a fortune teller. So, O gets the square. You are the winner of the first game.
This week, the one and only Enoch, Tim from Sloan TV, Neo, Useless Crayon Eater, Bert Cocaine, Joyful June, 451 Actual, Uncle Krusty. Starring Graham Belushi, your host, Zoso Dude. You're muted, Kevin.
I am muted again. This is hard. This is hard to do. Okay. But you know what? We're going to make it through this. Because, TN Homesteader, are you back yet?
Oh, I can't wait to hear his voice. This is such a
tease. The
is.
build-up is just, it's really getting crazy. Yes, the foxhole squares. Guys, have you not been there yet? It is fun. It is fun. So much fun. Sandra, you've done such a bang-up job getting this put together, I must say.
Thank you. Listen, I'm going to say it, and I'm going to always say it. It wouldn't work without everybody helping. Like, people are really a part of this, and I'm very, very grateful. And I love it so much. It brings me joy because it's bringing people joy, Oh. So thank you. Thank you for everybody coming in, showing up. It's really freaking awesome. I love it.
Yes, it is. It is so much fun. Okay, it looks like Bert Cocaine over there has already put in
a request
for later. So I am going to get to that. Let's see. TN Homesteader. TN Homesteader. Are you there?
Oh my God.
Okay.
It's like you're at the. Oh, I can't wait to hear his voice. Like he's gonna say Sandra. I can't wait to hear how he says it too. Hey, Sandra.
All right. Well, along with that request, Bert Cocaine also gave a cookie. So now let me go and tab on back over here, and here we go. Thank you so much, Bert, for that cookie. I'm not even on the proper screen. Now I understand why 45-1 gets. Now I understand what is going on his side. All right, let me do that one more time. Thank you, Bert. Here it comes. Yes, there it is. All right. Wow, this is a lot of different tabs and stuff. This is crazy. Okay. Coming back over. How do people do this stuff? I remember back when I started, it was just one screen and then just, it was very, very simple. And now it's like, this is for the young. This is obviously something that's for the kids.
No.
And not for people like me.
I rebuke that.
What is it? You rebuke that?
Yes. Because producing is fun, isn't it, Kev? Listen.
Oh, right.
It just takes practice. Just takes practice. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
I would like a job. I would like a job to get paid to produce. So, if you guys would just pray for me in that.
Prayers up and out. Prayers up and out.
Yes, please.
One more time here. Not one more time. Okay, is this one going to be the one? Is a third time the charm?
It's all this pressure.
Yeah.
Now, for some
Wait a
reason,
minute.
I was trying to log on, but it was hosing up my the center browser. It just locked it all up. So I had to jump around to other browsers.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Sandra.
I lost my ID to Restream. So that's why you don't see an avatar.
Sandra, it's TN Homestead.
I know.
On this show.
On this show.
On
TN
this
Homesteader.
show.
Hi,
Good morning,
TN.
TN.
Howdy, guys. I decided to
How you doing?
on Big Balls Days, since you guys were
Yes.
we're having and it seems like Dan Goldman is having a problem with big balls as well. So is the left. And now I'm not talking about Trump. Because he's got huge balls. But
huge.
Yeah. No, you've seen them go crazy now with Doge, right? And the guy that they, for some reason, it was kind of funny that Musk puts out a video, one of the guys that's on the team, who's a brilliant young man, and his handle was Big Balls.
And he's going to be back on the team, I hear.
Yeah. So, and there's some good memes, video memes that come out under that idea as well. And they're just getting it from all sides. And Trump is just relentless, absolutely relentless. Today he put out another one. He basically fired everybody in the service academies for the military. I kind of like that post because it's he posted it at 9/16/16. And I don't know if you guys understand that, but
fill us in. I know there's symbolism there. What does it mean?
Tennessee is the 16th state of the union.
Oh. Yeah, I know that the heads on mainstream media are just exploding over everything. They're complaining. It's all happening so quickly. It's just all part of his style is just to bombard us with everything. It's like, please. After the last 4 years of getting bombarded with BS almost on a daily basis of like trying to dismantle our country and then trying to turn around saying, oh, Trump's trying to dismantle the government. It's like, well, considering how the government's been running, that might not be such a bad thing.
Well, that's the whole point, that they're trying to keep the people from recognizing their smaller, ever increasingly smaller circle. I kind of posted that today on Dan Goldman, because he's, now that Schiff went over to the Senate or was installed to the Senate, he's become the number one insufferable mouth, right? I mean, there's plenty of them in the House, but he's just insufferable. And for those that don't recall, his claim to fame was playing both sides of the fence at the Trump impeachment, right? Which he's not supposed to do. So for them to talk about rules and law is ridiculous. But it cracked me up because he's out there whining in the left, the Democrats in particular, whining to no end. And what has Musk actually done? Enumerate what he has actually done as part of Doge, not Twitter.
Okay.
What has he done?
In the scope of Doge, what Elon Musk has done is exactly what we were told he would do by President Trump when President Trump was campaigning.
Correct.
When the other side was busy watching... Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's fine. I'm going to say, while the other side was listening to celebrity and watching celebrities twerk, we were having a full-on conversation with the man who was vying for the presidency. President Donald Trump was having a two-way conversation with we the people, and we were having a conversation for the last 4 years, from the time that he got kicked off of social media, kicked off the mainstream media, is the whole January 6th moment where what he was telling the people was, what can I say, castrated, and just, we found other ways to communicate with him while they were all busy doing whatever propaganda they were doing. We were actually talking about serious issues. So when it comes down to Elon Musk and Doge, this is what we voted for. In my opinion, I voted for this. I knew exactly what I was voting for. So what were we going to say, Tian?
But and I'll toss it over to Sandra with the question now. What has Musk actually done?
I mean, the only thing that I could say he's done is made us aware of all of the misappropriation of funds.
Out of one agency so far.
Out of one so far.
Right, exactly. And that's my point. And this is where everything you said is correct. That's why I was narrowing it down to actually done. All that Musk has done and the Doge team have done is have made no decisions whatsoever. They just exposed data. That's it. That's all they've done. And the Democrats are using that as if he's taking over the government, an unelected individual, blah, blah, blah. And all he's doing as a citizen assigned to the job by the president to go look where the money's going. That's all he's done. Nothing else.
Tian, have you seen what they're about to do now? Because of this? The Democrats, what they're about to do?
No.
Watch.
My next question, because your colleague Jeff Merkley basically said he's prepared to try to shut down the government over some of these sledgehammer actions that he's seeing by Elon Musk. Are you prepared to shut down the government, to join Democratic colleagues who want to stand in the way of keeping the government open?
Well, you have to look at what the Trump administration is doing right now. They are simply trying to, they are simply trying to dismantle the government. So yes, look, if we have to take steps to be able to hold them accountable, use the leverage that we have to force it, I cannot support efforts that will continue this lawlessness that we're seeing when it comes to this administration's actions. And for us to be able to support government funding in that way, only for them to turn it around to dismantle the government, that is not something that should be allowed.
So just to be clear, Senator, you are open to voting yes to shut down the government, to make this point.
This is on them. This is about whether or not they can get the votes. They are the majority, and if they cannot govern, then you know, that's for the American people to see. But I've worked in government. I've worked through multiple government shutdowns. I would be the last person to want to get to that stage. But we are at a point where we are basically on the cusp of a constitutional crisis, seeing this administration taking steps that are so clearly illegal. And until we see a change in that behavior, we should not allow and condone that, nor should we assist in that.
Senator.
Okay, so may I just substitute two things in this video? Just
absolutely.
The name
absolutely.
From Kevin to Adam, the subject from shutdown to January 6th, and the language is no different.
That's true.
That's all he repeated is January 6th mantra. Shut down the government. It's undermining the government. It's going to destroy our democracy. His lawlessness. And all he's done is addressed firing people that are within his purview to fire, because everybody that has been fired is under the executive branch. And as a matter of fact, I reminded today, not that it'll matter, but I reminded Mr. Goldman today, for all his whining about the USAID, and all of that, I reminded him in a post that basically that the Treasury Department is under the purview of the president as a member of the cabinet. The court has no, and then Trump comes on, they question him on Air Force One about that, and he turns around and he says, oh, we have a long way to go, we'll see what happens, as is typical Trump fashion when it's in the courts. They have no grounds. That judge that put the temporary restraining order on and having to destroy all the data that they have collected, and Musk responded saying, we collected no private data, no private citizen information. All they have done is shown you where the money went. That's all they've done. And Trump was very correct. If the president of the United States cannot investigate if there's any fraud, then we don't have a country anymore.
Absolutely. among
unloving.
other matters they're trying to stop him from doing. It's just,
And it's going nowhere, and they know it's going nowhere. All they're trying to do is keep the ever increasingly smaller circle, but the smaller. So let me put it a different way. Brine. I'll use that as a term.
brine. Okay.
What's brine?
Oh, I like
It is a thick, super concentrated mixture, typically of sodium chloride.
In water. And the more
water
you remove, the higher the concentration of the salts, to the point
it
where
becomes
you
toxic.
basically end up getting table salt if you end up doing that way. If you've ever flown over San Francisco Bay, that's what they do. That's what Morton Salts does. If you watch the southern end of San Francisco Bay, it's the salt marshes. So what they do is they have really shallow pools that are very broad. They let the seawater in. They close them up. The seawater evaporates, and what you're left with is salt, and that's what they harvest as sea salt, right? You can watch that. Okay, so the reason I brought that up is that because they're ever increasing smaller and smaller circle is becoming more and more caustic, more and more salt, more and more abrasive. And that's what we have to watch out for, because that's what they're trying to incite. Their whole little show in front of USAID and in front of the education department, what they're trying to do is incite the violence, because that's all they have left. They gotta show Trump being an authoritarian ogre where he'll come down with the police like sledgehammer.
And that's so interesting on this aspect, because I was listening to the mainstream media earlier, and they were saying that President Trump is acting like he's in a state of war. Yet, what have we heard from the Democratic politicians in the mainstream media standing in there and saying, we're at war with President Trump? It's like, well, then why wouldn't he be taking into, why wouldn't he be embodying that which is a wartime president?
The aspect of the wartime, and you're right. And the whole point about the wartime is that you're in war if you attack or you get attacked. Whether you're on the defense or whether you're on the offense, that's what depends on where the war is. Meaning, the definition of the war is that who was the aggressor? Is it Trump that's the aggressor? No, never has been. It looks like the aggression because it's the defense, right? When you counterpunch and all you see is the counterpunch, you look like the aggressor,
right?
And that's what they're trying to project. That's what they've done this entire first 4 years, and the next 4 years. That's all they did. Project that.
It is interesting that they would assume that the majority of people who are able to vote would vote in someone who would be aggressive towards them. That's the psychology that just baffles me. Not in a way that I can't understand it. Is that they think that they can even sell it to the people.
It's because
is what baffles me.
That's all they know. That's all they've known for how long, Kevin? I mean, it's how long have they been at this, right?
It's been a long time, Tian. It's been a very long time.
But that's all they know. The whole concept of going back to knowing their playbook is I mean, you could look at it from a football game, considering last night, but you could look at it saying you actually know their plays, right? But if you know their goals and their tactics, you don't need to know their plays, because their plays have only one way of manifesting themselves. That's dependent on their goal and their tactics. And their goal and their tactics don't change, ever.
Well, let me think about that for just a moment. Let me think about that.
Patterns.
They do shift. Now, yes,
they shift the play. They shift the plays. Yeah. They never shift the goal, and the tactics always have one common theme. They follow the Saul Alinsky rules of radicals. That's what they follow, those 13 rules. If you understand those 13 rules, you can see exactly what they're going to do.
I remember being on that side. And I remember a lot of it always had to do, should I say always? The majority of the time, It was an appeal to emotion, empathy, sympathy. It's like feel my challenges, feel my pain. It's like you just don't understand what I'm going through over here. And I woke up, I woke up to it. I realized that all they wanted to do was keep us in a constant state of need.
Yeah.
To never actually learn how to take care of ourselves as individuals, to make us reliant on something that really didn't care about us. Because it was
on them, relying on them, and relying on what they say, relying on what they give you, relying on what they do, and relying upon them telling you how you should act. And that's what and that's why we're seeing so much right now, in my opinion, is because that pool is becoming more and more caustic. That brine is ready to oxidize anything it touches, rather than season your turkey. Sorry. I should okay. So if you really want to cook a good turkey, you soak it for a couple of hours in brine before you cook it.
Yeah, you don't mummify it with salt.
Exactly.
Yeah, that'll just suck all the fluids out.
That's what we're seeing now. Is we're seeing the caustic nature of all they have left, and that all they have left is to agitate that and to keep them in a constant state of emotional chaos. There was a video, and I kind of stole the analogy that the young lady did, but to me, it's a perfect analogy, and that is, guy goes in to rob a bank. He robs the bank. He's on camera robbing the bank. The video captures him robbing the bank. The person is identified as robbing the bank. The police, the security people come in. The investigator comes in, reviews the video, and shows you the video of the guy that robs the bank. And the Democrats are blaming the guy showing you the video.
Yeah.
Shooting the messenger.
Exactly. Because it's again, what is that? Rule number 5. Ridicule. Isolate. And that's what they're doing with Musk. That's what they've been trying to do with Musk. And the funny part is, Musk, as one of the richest, if not one of the richest men in the world from a commercial perspective, right? Not old money, but one of the richest men in the world turns around and says, "I don't give a fuck."
And he can't be bribed.
Exactly.
Which is the biggest problem.
And then notice that their whole thing about Twitter died on the vine, and they shifted to TikTok. Even Trump was on the TikTok bandwagon for a while, and then he shifted away from it, right? So I don't know if that was an intentional move or It was
intentional. Do you know why it was intentional?
Why?
Because they switched servers. When TikTok went down in America, they switched servers. Facebook bought TikTok. Facebook has bought TikTok. They switched servers, and that's why that happened.
Are you for real?
I'm so for real. You can research it, look it up. That's why everyone's like
looking for an American investor, right? Because he was talking about the government, which then brings in an interesting thing, Sandra. If not doubting what you're saying, but going along with saying if it's true, right? Saying because Trump comes on, basically, remember that post where he was looking for a 50% ownership by the U.S. of TikTok, and if that was the case, he'd be good with it. So that's kind of interesting. Right?
Okay.
Because
TikTok.
Now you had Musk, not Musk. You had Zuckerberg over, kissing the ring, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, could be.
Listen, everyone's freaking out too because Facebook was never on TikTok, and now Facebook is a verified account on TikTok. And if anyone would dig, you would actually see Facebook.
Yeah, I don't do Facebook, Instagram, and only TikTok. If most of the time I see TikTok videos is because they've been reposted somewhere else. I don't go to TikTok.
Right.
I don't know. There's just so much noise there, right? It's like going into Telegram, and not criticizing Telegram, but there's so much noise out there that's it gets too noisy to me. But no, anyways, I jumped on because of all the things that are going on, and thought I'd say hi. And I haven't been quiet. I just haven't done shows.
Yes. Well, Tien, it's good to hear you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
So good to hear you. I'm really happy. This was a great way to start the Monday.
And on the No Prisoners podcast, no less.
Yeah.
No Patriots.
Honored.
Shifting my thought process there. But
so honored. Thank you so much. Now you're not leaving, are you?
Well, yeah, I have quite a few things that I need to take care of.
All right.
Well, we're glad you stopped by.
I was waiting for
awesome.
daylight, and now it's well into daylight.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, I got work to do. I have 40 ton of rock being delivered this week, so I got to prep for that.
Dang, we need pics. We need to see the update.
Oh, okay. Well, this is just going to be simple gravel driveway. I got 2 gravel driveways as part of my property. One that leads to the man door entry to the basement, and then the other one leads up to the shop and to the tractor barn and stuff. And with all the rain and stuff like that, it doesn't last forever, so you have to re-gravel it.
Yeah. Tell the missus we said hello too. All
right,
okay, hold on. I just got a couple questions real quick.
Sure.
How is it? How's the adjustment been not doing a show?
Frustrating sometimes. I did 2 shows since retiring, if you want to call it that. One that I promised to do Belushi right after the inauguration, and the other one I jumped on because Adel was covering the EOs, and one particular EO was of my attention. But the frustrating in that sometimes I see things and I want to comment, and it's like, dang, because by the time you get on a show, you guys have moved on, right?
Right.
Well, today I did it because I saw your notice, Sandra, pop up on my feed about the show, right? And then you guys, when I jumped on, you guys were talking about the size of your balls, so
not my balls.
I couldn't resist.
You mean these balls? Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Tien, I've missed you. And I'm glad you did this because I've been mad at you because I'm like, hey, you don't just drop me like a hot potato.
Well, next time don't invest in FTX.
In FTX?
Yeah, that was a joke. Hot potato, like the Democrats, FTX like a hot potato. Remember?
Oh yes, I'm a little slow on that one.
The minute the guy goes to jail, whoops, none of us.
Time
to keep it moving. Well, Tien, thank you for coming on here. I miss you. You ever gonna come and do a show over on my spot again, or is that just a negative?
No. Eventually, there's a few things that I've done. They've been chatty like crazy.
Okay, see what I'm saying? Like, we need a decode show. We need you to show us all that.
Yeah.
Stop.
Well, interesting. Last night, the Super Bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
There was it's a big one because it was the first time a president ever went to a Super Bowl, right?
Big balls.
Was it?
Yes.
Yeah. It was a big deal.
Now, think of it, and this is a very loose connection here, but another first for Trump was the first time he ever went to the Veterans Day parade in NYC at the 100-year anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And this was Super Bowl 59, and at halftime, they kind of put up a little thing that said the game's over. It wasn't over, obviously. It was a halftime. Well, halftime is midway. So kind of interesting that Trump then turns around and posts another post this morning about the kickoff. I don't know if you noticed that if you search for kickoff under Trump posts, you need to use CAG for this. You do kickoff, you'll see that he did 2 posts almost identical, some way back during the regular season, now this one after the Super Bowl. And the reason I bring that up is because there's one interesting post that says May 2019 kickoff start offense. That was Q drop 33-31.
Mm-hmm.
And so Trump posts that last night, and it would be no big deal, except that the rules for the kickoff have changed. That's what he was talking about. But the only time you have a situation where it meets that criteria, where you have the kickoff, you start the offense, is when you're being kicked too. You never start offense if you're the kicker. And midway is the turnaround spot in World War II, where the U.S. kicked the Japanese butt Navy, and that's what turned the tide in the Pacific. And that was done through covert comms.
See, this is why history is so important. Now think about this for a moment. Literally taking something that should just be an innocuous event and then being able to make these kind of like connections at a intellectual level and with a wisdom factor included into it. That's some pretty interesting stuff right there.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Well, I mean, we have a lot of idioms that we use nowadays in particular, but what does, when we say something is when we want to not exaggerate, but accentuate something that is out there, we say AF, right?
Mm-hmm.
We shorten it to
Yes.
AF for as fuck, right?
Yes.
Okay. Did you know, and we were told to watch the water, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you know that the reason they were able to do that in the Battle of Midway is because they had broken the Japanese code, which was the diplomatic, and they had broken the diplomatic, okay, get this, the diplomatic encoding machine. It was called Code Red, the red machine, red ciphers. The naval one was referred to as the orange cipher. Orange man, the orange cipher. That's what the intel called it. Okay, how did they know to be able to intercept the Japanese fleet in the middle of the Pacific Ocean? Because they sent out a fictitious under secure comms. They send out a message to the island of Midway to say, on open comms, claim you have an issue with your water treatment system, which is desalination, right? So they do that. They pick up the code because what they did is they knew the Japanese were up to something, but they didn't know where it was going to happen. And they send out this bogus code, open channel, and the Japanese picked up on it, and then they sent out a message saying AF has a water problem. AF was the code name for the island of Midway. That's how they knew. Comms, secret, covert comms. And that's Midway. And here we are, Trump, Midway, kickoff. All that you can research. All that. I mean, Sandra's seen me do showed some of that before.
Yeah.
But all that is out there. And there's only two.
I am really glad you guys can put those things together, because for me, I won't say I'm completely ignorant, but I am definitely, as you can see, I'm smiling. It's like, that's pretty cool that you guys can put those connections together like that.
Not guys, TN. Don't put me in that. I'm a good listener.
Yeah.
I see the patterns. But this guy, he is so, it's so exciting to watch him go through it all and see how it all does connect together. You know, and people are always trying to figure out what he's saying, and this is my opinion, because this is what I did. So you're trying to figure out what he's saying instead of stopping and being present and listening. And then he shows you how they speak through our states, all the different things. It's so incredible. But good job, Tien. And yeah, I'm telling you, people would go nuts. Do you know what it's like to have Tien for all these years, and then he just goes and retires? And during Trump's term. Like, how much sense? Like, come on.
There was a reason my last show was on 11/9.
I know.
Oh my word.
Yes,
And it just
he's
keeps
so
coming.
intentional. It keeps coming. Oh, it doesn't stop, Kevin. It doesn't stop at all.
This is you kids have your fun. I'm gonna continue watching you kids do this stuff. So yes, absolutely.
You kids, you're way younger than I am. This is another thing that cracks me up. About when
I'm in my mid-50s.
Oh, Tien is so much older than that. Oh yeah, Tien is so much older than that.
Be.
Oh, he is.
He can't be.
He could be my great grandpa.
Okay, what's today? The 10th, right?
Yeah. Well,
just
yes.
Okay.
It is of February.
Okay, I'll show you. What's 7 days from now?
Your birthday?
Is it okay? It's not Valentine's Day because that's like 4 days away.
The 17th.
The 17th of February.
Yeah.
Is it your birthday, Tien?
Yes.
Yeah,
and Kevin, I turned 69.
Oh my gosh.
So when you turn 69, do you every day during that practice 69? I'm just saying.
You don't practice 69.
I mean, do it. I mean, I would call it practice. Like, let's get to it. Let's see
if I practice 69, I'd be Big Mike.
You heard it here first, guys.
No, but I do turn 69. Can you imagine that? That's one shy of 70. Holy shit.
What are you doing for your birthday?
Oh my gosh, that's like 14 years from now. Your birthday is on, let's see, did you say 14 days from now or 7?
7.
Okay, 7. Well, double that, and you've got the number of
17th.
years till I hit that age. Okay. Wow. Yes, I can imagine it, Tien. Yes, I can. I can imagine I'm going to be using a lot of moisturizers, what I imagine.
Yep.
Look at that. Look at that, though. Look at you. Look at you. Look at
Tien,
you.
happy birthday, Tien.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't say
happy
that
birthday.
for that I mean, thank you.
Well, it's not like I'm going to see you, around,
I was saying that because of the age thing. And the reason I bring that up is because, again, what do they go after in big balls? You guys didn't know what you started with that little tete-a-tete this morning because it actually ties into what's actually going on. The media went crazy over this kid, right? Over this.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing that is hilarious is that they're, again, think back of Q days. What did Q actually do? Nothing. Meaning, in the sense that I'm not downplaying. I'm saying all he did is put stuff out there that either has become true or is yet to be true or has all kinds of innuendos and stuff. But that's all Q did, and the media went nuts. Here it is, this guy, Big Balls. They're attacking. And my point on that one was, age has no limit. There's no boundaries with age. I mean, there are, obviously. Eventually, you're going to get either too old or you're too young to do something. In particular, depending on what something is, requires more and more either wisdom or brain power. Let's put it that way, right? But in reality, you have individuals. Look at Trump. I mean, he's well into his 70s. He's going to be 80 before he leaves office. And yet, look at Biden, who's only 3 years older than him, and the dude can't hardly walk, right? So, and look at this kid that's working for Musk, and I can't. For me, the technology has moved on to the point where I can understand it. I just can't play with it anymore. But I know that I could if I wanted to. I just don't have the desire to do that anymore because that's what I used to do, right? In previous languages and stuff like that, to the point where I was designing systems to manage television networks over the internet. But they attacked this kid for who he is, not what he's doing.
Tien, and that's something I think is a hypocrisy right there, because they lifted Greta Thunberg up as some sort of icon for years. And then the moment that some kid with merit gets in and starts actually doing something productive, like discovering waste in spending, oh, now he's the bastard child, but let's look at the climate change princess. I mean,
Correct.
come on.
Correct. And then to your point, this is not only is he showing the waste, he's showing where the money is actually. Well, he's one of the people, but showing where the money is actually going to, not only as a waste, but to undermine the country, to purposely undermine the country. I mean, incredible. And we haven't seen, honestly, and when he gets into the Department of Education, you ain't seen nothing yet out of USI. Oh, here's the other interesting thing. Sorry,
Yes.
it just reminded me.
Just do it.
What Q drop was it? There was a Q drop never mentioned USAID in any of the posts. But
Go on, yeah.
There's one post. If you look at Find the Spiderweb, and it has to do with Syria, and the first photo, it's responding to an anon. The first photo is of McCain, and you guys have all seen that. McCain with what became later the leader of ISIS, and in Syria, right? Mm-hmm. Well, the last photo in that, where he says, find the spider web. And what we're looking at is find the web. What we're looking at is a web with US. The last photo is of the leader of ISIS inside a USAID tent. That's the spider web.
And if you look, USAID, that whole thing, they paid for money toward, and I wonder if it's still happening, toward impeachment.
Yeah. Well, and notice that it's the actual name of the entity is USAID. But if you look at their logo, is US is in blue and AID is in red, to make you think they're an aid organization. They're not.
Right. And that's what they've been using it as in the mainstream, is they've been saying USAID, 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 when that's not what it is.
Exactly.
That's not what it is.
Exactly. So,
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
This is how they're going to give us our money back. This is how it's going to happen, because they are up in arms because their piggy banks are being shut down.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's so mind-boggling how we as citizens are held at a standard. Your credit score, you're this, you're that, all this stuff going on. And they're just taking our money and doing whatever they want with it. Cali Girls said spiderweb tattoo meaning transformation, growth, resilience, creativity, artistic expression, fate and destiny, power, mystery, and P. Well, take all that, and it's the opposite game with the evil. Because,
well, yeah, true, but understand that it's not about the definition of the word. It's what is a spider web, and it's basically a bunch of threads connected to act as a catch. And what we're looking at is a bunch of threads, right? And eventually, and by the way, if you want to bring it up, Sandra, I don't know who's sharing, but it's dropped 30. Hold on a second. It's dropped 1088.
I think, Sandra, that you can share a screen.
Okay, let me make sure I'm not done. I can get it up. 88. Oh. Okay. So how do I do that?
Let me see.
I think there's a share button at the bottom of the controls.
Yeah, there should be. Do you see it?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, look at you. Here we go. All right.
See? Scroll down. There you go. And who did Trump showed him a copy of his home?
Do you guys see that in the bottom picture, right? The bottom picture.
Exactly. See the bottom? And if you look at it, if you go back, all of this, what did they find that they were funding through USAID funding a means to overthrow the Syrian government. Who was these people doing? Overthrowing the Syrian government. Who was the guy there? No name McCain. What was he doing? Overthrowing the Ukrainian government. Where are we having issues today?
Right.
So, yeah, those are the,
I mean, listen, honestly, Tien, if, I'm going to rant. If anyone ever questioned Q, right here is this right here. This is a game changer for anyone that had doubts.
Yep.
I'm serious. This is it.
Yeah. And it says, see the spider web, right? That's what it's saying. See the spider web. And immediately, even back then, everybody went to the diagram that's behind the people in the walls of that.
Yeah, right up there.
See, up there. But that's not the spider web.
Wow. And guess what? See, again, these are comms, right?
Yeah.
And that's a distraction for the people that really can't see past. But we actually needed the USAID to come out in order for us to see that they are indeed the spider web that has infiltrated everywhere.
That was the trap. And from what I understand, time, but that's okay because Tien Homesteader is here, okay? So,
yeah.
Yes. But to get back onto this, when President Trump put a freeze on the funding,
and then he backed off,
and then the critters came out. It's like they came out looking for the what they. It's like how did they not think that wasn't going to look suspicious?
Because
it's like coming out and clamoring for that.
Well,
because they don't realize it. It's like a crackhead needing their crack. Like, wait a minute, man, you're taking my money. Like,
yeah,
how many?
They get triggered. They get triggered, and he's perfect at trolling them, and that's why that could have been. In retrospect, it very much looks like a troll, right? He turns around and does it, and then within 24 hours he backs off, and the media makes a big deal about him backing off. But in the meantime, they just raise their ugly heads, right? So all of this is,
and then at the same time, Tien and Sandra, the talking heads in social media, the propagandists are going and saying, "Oh, look, Trump is weak. Trump is weak." At that same time too, and it's like, no, you fell for it, you silly bitches, you fell for it.
And I made this analogy a long time ago. I think I did it in. No, I don't think Kevin, when you were one of the visiting shows at with Adel, but
right.
I think I did it with Sandra, which is the corralling wild animals.
Yes.
You could set a trap, which is what we're talking about here, to attract them, but those are usually onesies and twosies that you're after, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but if let's say you're trying to corral or trap a herd of horses, wild horses, what you do is you set up boundaries, and this is what, if you watch a cattle drive or even a horse drive. That's what the cowboys are doing. The cowboys are on each side of the herd, and one pushes in one direction, one pushes in the opposite direction, and they steer them in the single direction, right? Okay, you do the same thing by putting blockades. You troll them to go left, and you put a blockade on the left. They'll have no choice but to go right. You troll them on the right, you put a blockade on the right, they have no choice but to go to the left. Each time that happens, the blockades become narrower and narrower and narrower until they're in the corral and they have no choice. They're at the point where they have no choice but to pursue what they've set out to do, and they're being exposed at every single turn because they got no choice. They're bouncing off into the corral.
It's like they don't even have time to think about what they're doing.
Correct.
They're just reacting.
Correct. Body punches. That's the and today was another one, right? Today, that's why not only the 1616 that I was referring to, but when he turns around and out of the blue, he drops all the service academies, basically, in essence, all the visitor boards. This was what he after this, which are the people that are, in essence, projecting the wokeness out of the military or into the military, right? From the military and into the military. And out of the blue, he drops this. Now, we saw this coming if you watch what Hegseth has been saying and what Trump has been saying before he nominated Hegseth, etc. But out of the blue, he turns around and says, okay, they're all out of here. And now that up went a corral, because just as one of the trolls, and not saying that this isn't true, I'm saying that he's using it because right now they were reacting to USAID. They went off and they tried to do the temporary restraining order that we spoke to earlier and all that. They're out there on the left-hand side. He just dropped the blinder, pushing them to go to the right. And the minute they get further along where they lose their shit on that, he's going to drop another one, pushing them the other direction. And he's keeping them constantly moving. He's been doing that since he left office in 2021. He's been doing it. If you watch him do that, he did that with the January 6th committee. He did that with the impeachments. He did that with Mueller. He's been doing that since day one, and they still haven't caught on to it. And at this point, they haven't.
Belushi says hello, TN.
Hey, Belushi. Yeah, I see him. I see the post. I don't have my face on. Neither do I. That's why it says TH. Well, guys, I'll let you be.
Thank you, TN.
And I said hello.
What a pleasant surprise.
It has been great to hear you this morning, TN. Absolutely. And I now that I have been set straight, I absolutely respect my elders. And now that I know that you're one of the elders in the room, it doesn't change my opinion of you. I already liked you to begin with, but now I've got like an extra amount of he's an elder. Yeah. He's an elder to me now, so I need to. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. I'll give you my my secret code for the Oil of Olay subscription.
Hey, I make my own beef tallow youth butter over here. Is it working? Okay, I don't want an answer to that. I really don't. Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to.
Okay,
I know it's
to make
working.
that ball really, really small so we can't see it.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Tian. It's been great to see you. Okay.
All right, guys.
But no, seriously.
Have a great remainder of the show, and we'll see you later.
Thank you, Tian. Have a good
bless.
day. Love you. Mwah.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Yay,
See you
we
later.
got to see Tian.
I know, right? I know, right? Oh my gosh. Okay.
That was a nice surprise.
So, it was fabulous. All right, before I go to the break, let me take care of some thank yous here. All right, so Bert came in with a can earlier. So Bert, thank you very much. Bert, by the way, you know what? The Restream chat is open. So if you want to come on in, absolutely. So for Bert, here we go. Bomb that. Wow, that was almost instantaneous. That was unexpected. And then from Old Salty Dog, who's out there working and lurking, he gifted a ship. Thank you so much, Old Salty Dog.
Sweet.
Where is it? Come on. And it looks like we have reached a threshold. So for everyone out there, this is for you. Sandra.
Yes.
I swear I almost lost my internet connection during that. So
I was checking. I'm like, go ahead.
Were you? I was thinking to myself, I was like, I don't want to go to fiber, but I'm gonna have to go to fiber. This is crazy. I can't be doing this over the wire and over the airwaves and such. That is a pull on the bandwidth, I must say. All right, so I'm gonna play off on a Foxhole Squares. Now, did I have a stroke? Foxhole Squares promo, and then turn off the other platforms out there. So if you're on Rumble or if you're on DLive, YouTube, any of those places on over there, you just come on over to pill.net/No Prisoners Podcast. Or as that one chick from California would say, you go to URL, and that'll help you, I'm sure. Okay, let's see. Where is that thing? All right, so right here, that's that. Go over here. And go to here.
am looking forward to finally hearing what the hell she's talking about, you know.
Oh, she's talking about some stuff. I've got like a few more things to do before we get there. Okay, here we go. Let's run this.
Tim from Sloan TV.
Back it up.
Coffee Talk with Santa presents Foxhole Squares, sponsored by Pill.net. This week, the one and only Enoch. Tim from Sloan TV. Neo. Useless Crayon Eater. Burt Cocaine. Joyful June. 451 Actual. Uncle Krusty. Starring Graham Belushi.